What was that?
With these, do you want me to be kind or honest?
We have had some ideas of like fun products that we make prototypes of that we're trying. We might do some of them, so maybe we shouldn't say. Hello, I'm Adam. I'm the design director at Nothing.
My name's Tom Ridley. I'm Experience Design Lead.
Hi, it's Joseph, technologist at the design team at Nothing.
I'm Félicien. I'm industrial designer at Nothing.
And today we are reacting to community concepts.
I quite like the subset of keys. That jumped out at me straight away. Like, I think it's like a power play if you have a keyboard with no letters on it. Because it's like, oh, I know all the letters. I don't need them written down.
There is like just a few letters written. Why not? I mean, it seems fun to me. Maybe difficult to write something, but there is something fun to it.
You can nearly spell my name, but not quite. Oh, it's Nothing. Got it. You can buy these nerdy keyboards that don't have letters on them if you follow the sort of UX usability handbook disaster. But people like it.
There's like a touch bar. I quite like the touch bar, to be honest.
I didn't personally get on with the touch bar. One really big problem for me was the escape key, because I use the escape key a lot. In the end, I put it on the setting where it replicates what the original F keys were at the top, and then it was just slightly worse than the one before.
I'm immediately thinking, is that a screen that looks like a dot matrix? Or is it actually an array of tiny LEDs which form the shapes? And we're quite into like honesty in the design. If we could do it with dots rather than a screen looking like dots, I think that's cooler. So,
what's the purpose of a laptop? It might be browsing, it might be games, entertainment, but for a lot of people it's work. There's enough things shouting at me already, telling me that I need to do something or that I'm late. In some ways, my dream laptop is just the app I'm using. Everything else is just non-existent.
Maybe looks a bit serious, and I think if we were to do one, it might be a bit more fun. I think I'd want it to be so visually striking that you couldn't ignore it. Whereas this is quite dark, perhaps it wouldn't stick out too much on a shelf. Another thing we might think about is how can we tell the story about how it came to be, how it's built. That's kind of what Phone 1 does. These shapes all relate to the components within, rather than just literally having a glass back and letting you see the circuit board, because actually that's not very interesting.
First of all, I love the name. Base 1 is quite fun.
I mean, first obvious thing, he's picked up on the left and right, white and red, that we do on the headphones.
Yeah, I think the top section is quite interesting. Like the thick material, and you get some interesting like light diffraction and through it. In
terms of acoustics, I can't see any holes in order to let the sound get into that transparent region.
Oh, it's huge.
Whoa!
It's bigger than I thought. Big boy.
Wow, look at the size of that.
I mean, that looks pretty fun to me.
This is really interesting. That's a good render, unless he's made it. It is a render. Nice render.
It really pops out at you with this background and the color in it, the like geometric nature of it. This looks like something you could like print and assemble at home if you've got a 3D printer.
You know, the caliber of the balls that the thing seems to sort can be painful.
Yeah, safe to use on humans. So that's good.
No, there is something playful to it that I enjoy looking at and thinking about having.
It's also version 1.05923, so I'm interested to see the other 5,000 iterations.
I think it's an interesting approach. It is quite kind of ray gun from early sci-fi films and books.
And it's going to make a great sound as well when it pops out at the end, I'm sure.
So yeah, there is definitely a chance for like some fun, light, and why not techie devices that we could design.
Toys, yeah, Nothing toys. It's a really fun idea. We've got to think about what can we bring to it that is different and why is it worth it? Like all the great toy companies, you're trying to do something fun.
I think this is really fun because it's someone who's like got their own style, but they've taken a bit of inspiration from us. So yeah, I think it's a great project.
We have had some ideas of like fun products that we make prototypes of that we're trying. We might do some of them, so maybe we shouldn't say.
My first thought on that is, well, it might be under your desk, so you might not actually see it.
This is a good example of like a Nothing product looks like a Nothing product, not because it's got a transparent cover on the top. It's because the approach has led us there. It would be good to trace the steps that the designer went through to get here.
If you did a screen, in addition to the main information, is there some other information that you could convey in the peripherals or somewhere else on the desk. That feels more exciting to me.
When we're working on concept, there's almost like two levels to it. One level is what we've gone through to get to this point, the thinking we've done, the research we've done. The concept itself is like the tip of the iceberg. The other level is completely top level, putting yourself in the position of someone who's just seen it. What does it say to you as a fresh person? And it's that gut instinct which is what other people are going to have. So it's very subtle to figure out what is a nothing product, you know, what makes us us, and we talk all the time about it.
Ladybirds. Did we do ladybirds? Yeah.
Coccinelle, how do you call coccinelle in English?
Ladybirds.
Ladybird? That's good.
But I think I prefer this, where you can see how the material goes in and where like a strap might slide in. I don't know how that would work in practice, but I like that.
I think the bandit is gonna snap out because it doesn't seem like really secure. Man, there is something like really enjoyable and relatable, and some things that, you know, your brain can find back without looking at it. You know, just like scrolling with a wheel or like clicking on a button. What is, if it's like a short travel click, long travel click, is it really soft? Is it noisy? There is definitely like these elements of like physicality and how you interact with the product in a physical way. Yeah, think also about the interaction that you have with your device.
It's good to try something like different that no one else is trying maybe. So yeah, it's good.
There is always some details that you would love to continue adding or perfecting, but I think in the process it's always good to, like, you know, just have the courage also to share it with the world. Yeah, that's it for today.
Thank you very much for sending all your really interesting designs through to us.
Please check out the community projects channel on our Discord.
I think there are some buttons to click to keep in touch with us, to see the latest video, or to just signify that you like what we're doing. Bisous.
I'd call it the Tigger.io. It's not going to catch on.
Thank you very much for watching today. Thank you very much for watching today. Sam, I can see you. Thank you very much for watching. It's funny to start then.